I'm Saul Hewish and I'm a co-director of Ride Out. The reason for doing the project in part was because a lot of people's views about prison and what prison life is are informed either by what they see on TV, what they see in film, or what they read in the newspaper. And we wanted to do something which got around those myths and stereotypes really. And so putting a cell either in a gallery or in a shop or a festival is a very effective way of being able to do that.
Well, basically, I was working as an IT consultant, and I lost my job, and my relationship also broke down around the same time. So I was a bit wobbly. I started to drink a bit more than usual, and but then I met this new person, Sonia. So Sonia liked to play pool, and so on our first date, I took her to a pool place. But inside the place, there was a guy, and he was acting kind of wild, a bit drunk. So he was like invading our personal space, coming, really close, etc. So I politely asked him to just back off. And so he seemed to acknowledge his behavior. So he started apologizing, kept saying sorry. I said, "Oh, don't worry about it, mate, it's cool." We shook hands. I went to the bar. While I was at the bar, I looked across and I noticed that he had his hands between Sonia's legs. And so he proceeded to touch her breasts. I was in, a strange feeling came to me, I began to get hot. So I went across to the pool table. I hit the pool cue against the table, and it snapped. And I didn't realize it, but this guy came really close to me, and I sort of like turned around really, really quickly. And as I turned around, the end of the pool cue ripped into his shirt, and he sustained a wound. First of all, I should say that when I first came to prison, it was a complete hellhole. I was stressed. I used to drive past the prison all the time. I didn't expect to be on that side of the wall. Eventually, I began to get used to the prison system, the whole mundane, everyday motions of it. And as they locked me in, I sort of like mentally began to lock them out. So I used the cell as a haven, a bit of a retreat. So I started to meditate. I started to self-reflect. I started to read some books. I started to put pen to paper, go back to the art of writing, and started just figure out certain causes, so I could find like certain cures. It took me 2 years, and there was one point where I had so many thoughts going on inside my head, so many different thoughts, multiple thoughts. So these multiple thoughts began to take on their own different characteristics, and I began to hear like different voices, maybe about 6 voices. Some of these voices were like more subtle, some were like whispering, some were more like jeering. So 6 voices come into my head, particularly at night time, and I had to go through certain measures to kind of just like exercise them, and just kind of find a certain state of peace within. There's a place called wit's end inside your mind. Everyone has a place where you go towards the edge of your own personal cliff. So when you go to the edge of your own personal cliff, you can drop over and slip into madness, or you can push the boundaries and just like extend yourself. Sometimes, it can kind of work. You can have that kind of, the comrade thing going on, someone to talk to. But other times, you just need your personal space. And to be living like in a toilet, basically, with someone else, that kind of loss of dignity type thing. And you just crave for your own personal space. I mean, in some ways, it teaches you like tolerance and patience, because you have to compromise a small living space, but at the same time, you know, you really crave for you crave for the promised land, which is the day when you get your own single cell.